welcome to my author journey. This is episode 9, and it actually might be my last kind of long form video for just a little while because this is the culminating moment of when I transitioned from being a writer to now a published author. So in episode 8, I did share that I signed with a consultant from Westbow Press that did become my publishing house, and that towards the end of 2019, I was also hearing from God that I would be moving from New York to Dallas, Texas. So that's where that episode left off, and where we will pick up in this episode. Okay, so the start of 2020, I'm having a shift in focus. I'm trying to understand what does moving look like and the whole publishing process. So I'll start with the publishing process and then I'll talk about the moving process. All right, so the publishing process. I had to submit now to the editor my manuscript to be reviewed, and I was nervous. It was the time had come where someone professional was going to review my work and we would see if I was good enough. And that was hard because I am a perfectionist, and something like writing, which is the most intimate thing about me, to be under, kind of a critique was not a very settling feeling. But we managed to get through it. We worked through our discomfort, and we submitted it because it's the next step. I know that it wasn't going to be like the perfect, 100% type of writing, but still, you just never know what someone else is going to have to say when they encounter the words that you put down on a paper. And I got my editorial review back the day after my 25th birthday. I was like, oh great, I just had a night of celebration. I was feeling good, feeling on top of the world, and then boop, here comes this email notification, and I was so nervous to read it. I was like, oh my gosh, they're probably gonna tell me, who do you think you are? Try again, kid. This is not it. Really need to work on your writing. But I was actually pleasantly surprised. The editor said that my writing and roots was, it was a thoughtful compilation of practical guidance, biblical wisdom, and inspirational anecdotes. And those were the words of the editor. I read their email again right before I filmed this video to share with you all, and to be honest, it was just like, wow, God, I really feel like you're affirming me here for my first time going through this process, and really letting me know that you did give me this ability, this gift, and that you are pleased in the way that it's being delivered, in the sense that to give guidance and to incorporate the Bible. The Bible always gives us guidance for everything that we need in this life. So to receive those words kind of felt like a nice, warm hug from the Holy Spirit, just saying, this is my grace upon your life. It's like, oh, okay, that's exciting. And so then the next phase was to do a full edits, the things that I needed to continue to adjust in. One thing I will say I regret is that the editor did suggest that I put some reflection questions at the end of each devotional day, which I didn't do. And now that I reread that again, I might do that, create just a digital copy and send it out to people or give it to people who want it. So let me know if you do read the book, if that's something that you would like, and I have no problem creating that, because I would say that Roots is one of those books where you don't have to just read it once and put it down. You can always revisit it and just see your own growth and development throughout each different season that you're walking with God and what He reveals unto you. So, yeah, the next step after the editorial review and cleaning things up was to do the book formatting and design process. And the way that unfolded for me was that they, of course, have an in-house graphic designer and everything, but on the side, I was actually working with someone to create my own brand. So, of course, the pandemic happens in March of 2020, where, at least for me, that's when I'm kind of exited out of full-time teaching person. I was still teaching like online, but remote, and we're all trying to figure out what's happening. A lot of online education popped up very quickly. So I found myself actually tuning into a masterclass about business. I am not gonna be your girl that says like I am a business girly, because that's not something I'm fully like walking or declaring just yet. I will say I do have an entrepreneurial spirit, that is for sure, but I've had like a love-hate relationship with the way that I've seen business be conducted, and I think my internal humanitarian side of things and the need for justice. And I think I found that a lot of businesses don't operate in integrity, so that obviously does not align with my internal values. But needless to say, actually, pause. I did get the opportunity to work with a CEO who actually had a lot of integrity, and I deeply appreciated that. I think he helped get me out of having such a guarded heart and guarded thoughts about business practice, because I watched him do it and I watched him care, and so that was nice to experience. Anyways, so tuning in to this masterclass about business, and she's talking about laying out your foundation for business, but she also mentions your branding assets and all these things. And I was like, oh well, book is going to be a product, and I don't really have like a brand identity with it as like being an author. This is a new space for me. And so I ended up working with one of my friends from my church. We were co-leading a group together, and she was also doing like brand strategy work on the side, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is like perfect. So I told her my ideas, my inspiration, like my little Pinterest pins of where I was trying to see this to take off in the direction that I wanted it to go in. And she actually ended up creating my brand assets that became the book design for my book Roots. And my other friend, actually, we were working on it in Canva, funny enough. She actually designed it, like the actual book cover itself, and like just doing the layout, because I couldn't conceptualize it just yet of how I wanted it, but she nailed it. And so my other friend did a really good job. That's like her first like published design work, we would say. And yeah, so the book design department got back to me, and they showed me like the layout, and it's like, you know what, it's not me. And it was fine, because it was like around July that time that we were discussing it, and so I submitted the brand assets because they were done by that time, and we worked through that. So I'm going to pause right there and switch gears to my moving process, because they kind of intertwine around the same time of like the July of 2020 mark. So let's switch gears right there.